Welcome all, Papa G here. Today I present a pork tenderloin stuffed with a sweet and savory bacon jam. These two flavors come together to offer one deliciously juicy, easy to make entree that'll have your family or friends asking for more. Let's get started. Before we begin, I want to clear up some differences between a pork tenderloin and a standard pork loin. First, a tenderloin comes from the loin, but is taken from the hip to the shoulder and is a lesser used muscle, making it a more tender cut. A pork loin contains more of the back muscle and therefore is a little less tender. Second, tenderloins are usually only about 1 to 2 pounds, whereas the pork loin is much larger and can range anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds. Finally, you should use separate cooking methods for cooking each. The tenderloin is very tender and should be cooked at higher temperatures. Slow cooking a tenderloin will result in a less juicy, tougher outcome. The loin, on the other hand, should be slow cooked at a lower temperature, which will help it break down and become more tender and juicier. Today we'll be focusing on the tenderloin. We'll start by prepping 1 medium yellow onion. Cut off the tip and slice in half from the root down. Peel the first half and dice into small pieces. Now peel the second half, cut off the root stem, and slice into strips. Place the onion strips into a 9 by 13 inch casserole dish and set it aside. Prep 8 slices of bacon by chopping into small pieces. Add the bacon to a skillet on medium-high heat. Cook the bacon, stirring occasionally. As the bacon cooks, you'll notice a nice fond forming on the bottom of the pan. Once cooked, remove from the pan. Drain the skillet of most of the bacon fat, leaving behind about 2 tablespoons. Add the chopped onions to the skillet and stir to coat the onions in the bacon fat. Season with some salt, ground black pepper, granulated garlic, and just a little cayenne pepper. Give a stir to mix the seasoning with the onions. We'll deglaze the pan with a little brewed coffee. Stir and scrape the bottom to remove the flavor off of the pan. Now add some apple cider vinegar and a sugar substitute equal to 1/2 cup of regular sugar. Stir to combine. Add the cooked bacon back to the pan. Reduce the heat to medium and continue to cook and stir until the moisture is evaporated. Remove from the heat and set aside. As I said in the opening of this video, tenderloins are smaller and are most often sold in 2 pieces. This package contained 2 1-pound tenderloins cut from the loin. You should be able to distinguish the side of the pork that was trimmed from the loin. It has a rougher texture as opposed to the so-called outer side. Take a sharp knife and cut along the rough side. Go slowly and be sure not to slice all the way through. As you cut, begin to open it like a book. Make smaller cuts as you open to help it lay flat. Repeat with the other tenderloin. Now, one at a time, lay some plastic wrap over the pieces. Use the flat side of a kitchen hammer and pound to thin it out. You want it flattened to about 3/4 of an inch or so. Repeat the process with the second piece. Season the cut sides with a little salt, pepper, and dried sage. Turn over and season the outer sides with the same. Be a little more generous with this side. Turn back over and overlap the edges by an inch or two. Place some plastic wrap over the tenderloins and pound down the intersection of the two pieces. This will also help to hold the two pieces together as we flatten. Place 5 pieces of butcher twine under the pork, sliding the first one to the center and working your way out. Doing this now will make it easier than after we roll it. Now, something very important. We want to set this up to roll from the bottom piece to the top piece. This will help it stay together as we roll. Pour the bacon and onions onto the center. Now, with the back of a spoon, spread thin over the pork, leaving some space at the ends. Gently begin to roll the pork. You'll notice here that our connected tenderloins stayed together nicely. Working from the outsides, tie the pork. Any knots will work, just not too tight. I like wrapping the string 2 to 3 times for the first knot, and then making a standard knot to finish. This tying method helps cinch the string like someone putting their finger on the knot as you tie. Now trim the excess string. Place the pork in the baking dish atop the sliced onions. If you're using a temperature probe, stick it in the middle of the thickest part. Now lightly cover with foil and place in the middle of a preheated 425-degree oven. Here's where you can make it the way you like. With resting included, cooking until an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit will result in slices being somewhat pink and moist. Cooking at 150 degrees Fahrenheit will result in slices being a little pink and still very moist. Anything over that will work, but you'll risk the finished product being a little on the drier side. I used 150 degrees for mine. It took about 50 minutes in the oven. Once done, remove from the oven. Take the pork out of the dish and let it rest. You'll notice the sliced onions have caramelized nicely. Cover this lightly and let it rest for at least 12 minutes. Once it's had a chance to rest, remove the probe and the strings. Don't forget the strings. As you slice it in half, you'll see we have a slightly pink and very juicy result. Serve along with some of the caramelized onions. And enjoy. Delicious. There you have it, folks, my bacon stuffed pork tenderloin. Sweet and savory in every bite. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.